Speech number 3. Okay, what's the speech purpose? Does it work with words or something?
No, it's
Get to the point.
Get to the point. All right. So I'm sure Shanil will help us get to the point. Shanil's a consultant at North Island, and he's been doing that for 9 years, so he's been helping a lot of companies get to the point in those 9 years, and I'm sure he'll help us as well. And his speech tonight is called The Truth About Fear. So come on up, Shanil. Truth about fear, ladies and gentlemen.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. So what is it for you guys? What are your fears? Public speaking, being assertive, making decisions, being in a relationship, getting out of a relationship. Everyone has fears, whether you want to admit it or not. Some of us choose to live in fear all our lives. Some of us choose to be ruled by our fears. And some of us have learned to overcome our fears. And the rest of us live somewhere in between those two lines. The purpose of this meeting is to talk about some fundamental truths about your fears and to help you overcome them. So in the last several years, I've done a good amount of research and reflection on what I thought it would take for me to overcome my fears. And I feel like there are 4 fundamental truths that I've identified that have helped me put me on this journey towards being a more successful individual. The first truth that I came across was that the only way for me to get rid of a fear of doing something is to go out and do it. Right? How many of you over here, show of hands, have a fear of heights? Right. I used to have a fear of heights. Right. And because I had a fear of heights, I went skydiving. A couple of years ago, I went to a skydiving school. I signed up. I went in, and one of the first things they do is they make you watch a video. And in that video, they show you all the risks of doing skydiving, and they talk about all the things that can go wrong. And then at the end of the video, they tell you, if you get hurt, or if anything happens to you when you go skydiving, you can't sue them, and there's no way I can win. That's the first thing they show you when you go to skydiving school. I'm walking out of that class thinking, not only am I afraid of heights, but I'm not sure if I'm going to come back alive now. So then they strapped me up, they put me on a plane, and then I went through and did this jump. They call it a tandem jump. What it means is you're strapped onto a professional skydiver, and so the two of you are like this, stuck together, and there's only one chute between the two of you that opens up. So we're on the plane, we go up into the sky, we're cruising at 14,000 feet, and then all of a sudden the hatch opens. Right? Now it's time to get out. I can feel the wind blowing really hard inside the plane. I can hear the skydiver behind me saying, "Move, move, move!" And my hands and legs start trembling. I start breathing heavy, my heart starts throbbing, and I'm taking very slow steps towards the exit. And he's asking me to move quickly because I'm going to miss the drop zone if we don't. I reached the exit, and I couldn't get myself to jump. So he pushes me. When I reached the ground safely, I turn around and I look at him, and I say, "That was awesome! Let's do it again!" It was great. I loved it. It was so exhilarating. I could not believe how nice it was. I had finally gotten over my fears of heights, my fear of heights. The other thing I learned, the other truth I learned, was that the only way to feel good about myself is to go out and do it. Whatever it is that's bothering me, just go out and do it. Right? I realized that after doing this jump, not only had I gotten over my fear, but I had a heightened sense of self-confidence. I felt really good about myself, that I had accomplished something. I felt like I was at the top of the world, that I could accomplish anything. I felt like I had looked at death straight in the eye and said, not today, from jumping off that plane. A third truth I learned about fear was that the more I do something that I'm afraid of, the less I get afraid of it. Let me ask you a question. When you guys drive home after our session today, how many of you guys are afraid, oh, while I'm driving home, I'm going to get into an accident, I can't drive? None of us, right? But that wasn't the way you thought the first time you sat behind the wheel and you had to learn how to drive. You were pretty afraid. I was afraid the first time I sat behind the steering wheel because I was wondering, man, I don't know if I can operate this right. I don't know if I'll drive straight. I might hit someone. I might hurt myself. I might damage my dad's car. He's going to kill me. Right? But now, right, I don't think about those things. Right? The more we drove, the more I drove, the less I feared driving. Right? The fourth truth I learned was that it's easier to push through fear and do the things that you're afraid of than it is to continue living with that fear lingering. Many of us continue to choose living our lives and not take the risks that we should take because we're afraid of the consequences. Well, let me tell you this. What you don't know is it's worse to keep living in fear than it is to actually take a chance, go out and do it. For several years, I avoided getting my wisdom teeth removed. My dentist would keep telling me, Shanil, you need to go and get your wisdom teeth removed because you keep getting infections, that's why you're having so much pain. And I used to experience a lot of pain in my gums almost every other month. It's because there was overcrowding going on, my wisdom teeth needed to come out. But I just kept delaying and delaying and delaying. So, for the last 2 years, I've been experiencing pain practically every other month. Until finally, last December, I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I went and I got my wisdom teeth removed. My fears were that, the surgery would be too painful, the recovery would take too long, it would just be torture. And you know what? I regret not having taken my wisdom teeth removed sooner than later. I wish I had taken it off much earlier because now I feel great. And the treatment and the surgery wasn't that bad either. So in summary, I'd like to leave you guys with thinking about, what are your fears? And how are you living your fears and managing your fears? Are you confronting your fears? Or are you choosing to continue living in fear? You need to grab life by the horns. You need to feel the fear and do it anyway.